Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We're glad to have you this morning. The session Africa Summit, the 13th edition of the summit is going to commence very soon. So please bear with us. Wow. I could see some of our board members are already in. Ms. Ariola Akinyemi, Mr. Paul Rooney, our former deputy chair for Africa. And then the chair of Africa is also here with us. Great to have you. Our deputy chair, Ms. Rachel Shitanda, and so many other dignitaries with us this morning. I believe in a couple of minutes, we should commence the 13th edition of the summit. So to our participants, we welcome you to this wonderful session. And we believe you're going to definitely add to knowledge. You have got sessions, and we encourage that you engage with one another. The chat room is open. As soon as the session starts, you are free to introduce yourself so that you can have new friends. So great to have you all here. We also appreciate all our partners for this event. The sponsors, they are the ones that made it possible for this session to hold. We will be identifying, or we will be introducing them when the time comes. So you are greatly welcome. Nice to have you all. Thank you.
We are Africa Information. And Communication Technologies Alliance
Africa
is a private sector-led alliance of ICT associations, multinational corporations, companies, organizations, and individuals in the ICT sector in Africa. Our vision is to fulfill the promise of the digital age for everyone in Africa. And our mission is to encourage multi-stakeholder dialogue, fostering accelerated and ICT-enabled development in Africa and the use of cutting-edge innovative technologies including mobile, computing and satellite technologies to achieve an information society in Africa. We organize non-government ICT stakeholders in Africa for effective local and continental advocacy. We are the focal point for Africa ICT advocacy in the global digital economy. We promote constant improvement in African digital literacy in collaboration with stakeholders. We create partnerships with the African Union and all the regional economic commissions towards realizing global sustainable development targets for Africa. We support effective dialogue between members and policymakers. We promote business partnerships between members and their associations members. We contribute to capacity development by promoting best practices, encouraging regional projects, sharing data, skills, expertise, events, business announcements, exhibitions, seminars, and we organize an annual regional summit for knowledge sharing and cross-African advocacy. Some of our good standing members are Kontemporary Konsulting Ltd, Egypt, Main One Cable Company, Affinoid.ng, Tech Law, Fintrack, Computer Society of Kenya, ICANN, and many more. There's a world of benefits to our members, among which are, but not limited to, advocacy and liaison with national government in endorsements on a continental level, in developing incubators and technology consulting, EITESAL. Egypt, Main One Cable Company, Affinoid.ng, Tech Law, Fintrack, Computer Society of Kenya, ICANN, and many more. There's a world of benefits to our members, among which are, but not limited to, advocacy and liaison with national government in support of member initiatives, product and service endorsements on a continental level, identification of business opportunities, conducting research, strengthening the African brand, providing membership services, promotion of member product and services, opportunities in global associations, partnering with stakeholders, universities, civil society, ICT users. Events and Development Program, partner in developing incubators and technology parks, advise on procurement policies to support local industry, encouraging intra-African business opportunity MOs, professional development in collaboration with member national associations. Join us as we celebrate 10 years of making giant strides in the ICT world in Africa.
Africa.
Fulfilling the promise of the digital age.
So at the Global App Economy Conference, we bring app makers and technology so that we can better understand each other.
You can't create a policy if you don't know who the people are. I think a lot of policy is being created without actually speaking to SMEs.
Policymakers are able to connect with their constituents at a great rate, but not the small businesses. And a lot of the large corporations, while they're important to our ecosystem, they may have a potential larger voice. These kind of conversations also drive the economy.
It's important to have tech policy discussions specifically for small businesses so that we can directly elevate our voices and our concerns.
The App Association is both giving us a network of people to interact with and to connect with so that we can build our business whilst also giving us a voice.
Events like this really help us connect with other people that are maybe dealing with some of the same issues.
For me, it's learning a lot about these policies and being able to talk to people that are subject matter experts on these policies.
As long as we keep taking these opportunities, eventually we can move the needle on things.
The work that we're doing together with the App Association is amazing. I am really a fan and supporter of it.
Companies are trying to change the world. They are the closest to their customers. They're passionate about their products, and they can share direct stories about how the policies that the people in these buildings are envisioning will affect them. And that is really important. That's an important conversation that needs to be had.
All right, so right about now, the summit is about to commence, and I believe the chair of AFICTA is on standby to take the lead as we go to the first part of this summit, which is about the welcome session. We will be welcoming our sponsors for their keynote speeches, and then the chair would also deliver the welcome address. So you are all welcome once again. I yield the platform to the chair of AFICTA.
Greetings, everyone. Thank you so much. I just want to do a video and sound check on my side. Can you hear and see me? Secretariat, can you hear me?
Yes, Chair, we can hear you loud and clear.
Perfect, Chair.
Fantastic, fantastic. So I'm going to say good morning for those of you that it's still morning. For me, from Hong Kong, I am traveling this week, so I do hope that my connection is very kind to me today. But I'm so excited to be welcoming everybody to our 13th AFICTA Summit. Allow me just one opportunity. I just want to get my notes up. I'm not used to this environment, so just bear with me as I try and get my notes. Right. So as I said, good afternoon, good morning, good evening to all my esteemed delegates, my distinguished guests, and of course, members of the Africa ICT Alliance. We wouldn't be where we are today if it wasn't for our loyal and pleasure and a deep sense of pride and a shared purpose that I stand virtually before you today to open this pivotal gathering of minds dedicated to the future of information and communication technologies across our vibrant continent. As I've already mentioned, I am talking to you virtually from Hong Kong, and isn't technology absolutely wonderful? So I was joking with a colleague of mine earlier on this morning, and I said to him, you know, again, I have a deep appreciation for technology because it brings us all together. I'm still in a position to engage with everyone, to engage with my members. I've even managed to have board meetings and meetings on international flights. So my mission and my aim one day is to have a virtual meeting on the moon. So can you imagine how wonderful that would be? But that being said, I still love Mother Earth. So it would only be a goal to achieve to have a meeting on the moon. I have no intention to live on the moon. And why is that? Well, that's because Africa is a continent of immense potential. And Africa, obviously, being a continent on Earth, we're a land brimming with innovation, creativity, and a youthful population eager to embrace the opportunities that the digital age presents. The rapid evolution of ICT offers an unprecedented chance to leapfrog traditional development paths, to empower our communities, stimulate economic growth, and foster inclusive societies. The political as Africa, we need to unite. So the Africa ICT Alliance is more than just a forum. It's a collaborative ecosystem, a beacon of progress where we can collectively strategize, share knowledge, and forge partnerships that will drive our technological advancement. Our agenda today and in the next day to come is that we will explore critical themes such as digital infrastructure, innovation ecosystems, cybersecurity, financial inclusion, and sustainable development. Each of you representing diverse sectors ranging from government and academia to private industry and civil society brings invaluable insights and experiences to this alliance. It is through this rich tapestry of perspectives that we will identify innovative solutions tailored to Africa's unique challenges and opportunities. And indeed, as Africans, we have been very innovative. And the saying goes, certainly from where I come from, necessity is the mother of invention. And now is really the best time for us to not just invent, but to innovate. So let us remember that technology is not an end in itself, but a powerful tool. Its true value lies in its ability to uplift lives, bridge divides, and unlock the full potential of every African. Let us work together to ensure that our digital future is inclusive, sustainable, and equitable, leaving no one behind. I encourage vibrant discussions, constructive debates, and the forging of strong, lasting collaborations during this gathering. May this opening address serve as a catalyst for meaningful engagement and impactful outcomes. Colleagues, thank you very much for joining us today. I also want to appreciate the work of the Secretariat and my members of the board and the Executive Committee for putting together this conference. And then, of course, our distinguished speakers. Again, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the volunteered efforts of our speakers. I hereby declare the Africa ICT Alliance Conference open. Thank you very much. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce our first speaker. I just want to double check whether our first speaker is ready for us, and that is Mr. Brian Scarpelli. Mr. Brian, if you could perhaps proceed to put your camera on so we can welcome you, if you are in a position to do so. You know, working and connecting remotely, sometimes we get caught off guard when we get asked to put our cameras. While we wait for Mr. Brian at ACT, the APP Association, he represents small business developers on issues include privacy and cybersecurity. Prior roles include work at the Telecommunications Industry Association and the Alliance for Telecommunications Industry Solutions. His education includes a Juris Doctor from the Western Michigan University Cooley Law School and a BA in History. What can I say?
Welcome.
Mr. Scarpelli.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Can you hear me okay?
Oh,
Great.
yes, Mr. Brown, we can hear you loud and clear.
Wonderful. Hello to you all, and thank you so much for giving me a few moments to speak. As you just heard, my name is Brian Scarpelli. I'm Senior Global Policy Counsel with ACT, the App Association. We're in short a global trade association that represents small business technology developers around the world, and we're proud members of AFICTA, as well as proud supporters of this 13th annual summit. I truly appreciate this year's theme, Accelerating Africa's Digital Future. Completely agree that Africa's rapid digital transformation presents an unparalleled opportunity to leapfrog really traditional development barriers and to drive inclusive socioeconomic growth. And I think the choices that we all make today in policy, infrastructure, and partnership, they will determine whether this promise becomes a reality. I believe that the policy frameworks that we're all working together to advance, they need to nurture an environment where innovation can flourish. For the small enterprises that make up the majority of Africa's tech ecosystem, the ability to create, to scale, to export digital products depends on open markets and fair competition and regulatory certainty. Despite tremendous progress already being made, I think too many communities remain on the wrong side of the digital divide, and extending affordable broadband and reliable connectivity to rural and semi-urban areas remains a critical need. Infrastructure alone is not enough, though. Developers need access to digital skills, secure payment systems, interoperable platforms that allow them to reach users locally, domestically, and globally, internationally. So in this context, I think regulatory interventions need to be carefully balanced. That's another important point. I think overly prescriptive rules in areas like digital platforms, data governance, and even artificial intelligence, they risk stifling some of the innovation that drives growth and job creation. I think that there should be a high import for encouraging risk-based, flexible approaches that promote trust and accountability without creating unnecessary barriers to entry. As an example, the free and secure flow of data across borders is critical for developers across Africa who rely on global cloud services to build and deliver their applications. Similarly, interoperability and open standards empower those same entrepreneurs to integrate with larger systems and reach new customers. Policies that restrict these flows or impose conflicting requirements would unintentionally isolate those innovators from the global digital economy, undercutting growth and job creation at large. So, at the same time, trust is non-negotiable, I think. Users need to have confidence that their data is protected and that the products they're using are safe, secure, and that they have insight and through transparency. So smart privacy and cybersecurity frameworks, ones that emphasize accountability, proportionate safeguards, and international alignment, they're a foundation for sustainable digital growth in Africa. Another key area is capacity building. I think policymakers across the continent are grappling with fast-moving technologies like AI and connected devices that are providing more rapid access to data and insights via that access. Public-private collaboration can and should help ensure that emerging rules reflect real-world conditions, enabling innovation while addressing legitimate risks. Certainly, I think we all stand ready to partner with governments and others, universities and local developer communities to share best practices and technical expertise and training resources. And ultimately, I think it's because there's a shared goal, a digitally enabled Africa that fosters innovation, inclusion, and economic empowerment. And EFICTA plays a pivotal role in bringing stakeholders together to achieve that vision. Ensuring that Africa's digital transformation works for everyone, from the smallest startup to the largest enterprise. So for all these reasons, ACT, the App Association, is proud to be a part of this journey, proud to support this year's summit. We're excited to continue collaborating with all of you to shape a digital future that's open, trusted, and opportunity driven. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Brian. And we're excited that you're excited to be part of us, to be working with us. So I do hope you're going to enjoy the rest of the summit. And we also want to take this opportunity to say thank you so much for your support. Thank you, Brian. Right. And then next up, we have Mr. Pierre. And I do hope I'm not going to be reprimanded for butchering Mr. Pierre's surname, which is Danginu, but Mr. Pierre could certainly help me. if we could unmute Mr. Pierre Dangenou and show the camera, then I can also confirm whether he is online. And while he gets himself ready, allow me to do the necessary introductions. He's the Vice President and Stakeholder Engagement for Africa at ICANN, and he joined ICANN in December 2012 and coordinates the implementation of ICANN's strategic plan for Africa, managing outreach, support, and engagement with governments, civil society, and private sector across the region. His interests include e-strategies, e-governance, and e-parliaments as tools for ICT use in human development. And it certainly gives me great pleasure to welcome Mr. Dangenou to this virtual platform. And so the platform is yours. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Sulandi. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
And also, just to ensure you that you did pronounce my name quite well, so there's no issue for that. So, congratulations on that one. And very good morning to everyone. I hope you can hear me. Yes.
Perfectly.
Okay, so good morning to everyone, and good afternoon eventually to those who are not in our sort of region. So my name is Pierre Dangenou, and I'm the Vice President in charge of stakeholder engagement at ICANN. And probably most of you know about ICANN, what we do, but I can eventually come back on that later on. And you already said my role is to promote, the ICANN sort of effort in Africa, which basically is about, the coordination of the unique identifiers that makes the internet work. You are talking about the domain names, you are talking about the IP addresses, the root servers. All of these are things that we coordinate, of course, in partnership with other contributors, other partners. So the whole internet ecosystem, we are part of it, and we power some of those, what I might say, initiatives also that makes the internet work for everyone. I would say that our mission is to make sure that internet is secure, unique, and interoperable for everyone. That's our mission. And for that, we are organized in a kind of, I would say, twofold. We, of course, coordinate, which is technical part of what we do. Of course, providing, IP polling or polls to registries. You also know that we do have 5 internet registries across the world, and then one of them being the Afrinic in Africa. So they receive the polls, and of course, they now can service, the clients that who you are, their community as well. And then we have what we call also the policy work that we conduct. And this is also about which policy works, for which sort of identifier, for which norms. So all of these are quite important aspects, that make sure that the internet functions properly to the advantage of everyone. One of the things we also of course provide is support to the country code CCTL, these country code top level domain names, your like of .ng. Of course, all of these are quite important, for us and also for the community. Now, probably one of the 2 things I would like to be doing, and of course, is already to comment, AFICTA for this 13th edition of the summit. We are used to the summit, and it's always a pleasure for me to join, the summit and share whatever we are doing, and also hear from the community what type of support you guys have been expecting from Africa. We do have an Africa strategy, which most of the time has been crafted by the communities, the African community itself. That Africa strategy shows exactly what we should be doing in Africa. And basically, it's about participation, your participation to ICANN, and also it's about capacity development. These are quite key. And I would like to thank most of you that are really participating to ICANN work. And I do recognize that AFICTA is one of those who are within what we are calling the ASO, Address Supporting Organization, and also the GNSO, the generic top-level domain, supporting organizations, and at large, all of them. And I'm proud to be seeing more and more Africans, coming to those meetings, interfere with the global community, contribute to the work, and also know exactly, how best to use those opportunities for the development of Africa. One of the things you wanted me to talk about, and quickly I'll do this, and I know I don't have all the time. It's about your theme, which is the accelerating Africa's digital, future. And well, you are pinpointing, innovation, inclusion, and economic growth, which are quite a very important triptych. Talking about innovation, about inclusion, and also about economic growth are quite key in the journey to digital transformation of Africa. And I would like to congratulate you for having thought about that. And also, I would also expect that we do have fruitful discussion on this, and that we end up not only with recommendations, because we are quite now, we are conversant with recommendations. The question is going to be, well, what do we do next exactly, concretely to kind of transform Africa digitally? So with that, I would like to highlight one or two things that for me is key. And for me, as one who has been there, one who has organized the first internet governance, in Africa, back there in 1998, and where we were just discussing those issues, and in fact, which gave birth to organizational association such as, the AfroNIC, AfroNOG, and the rest of them. So these are going to be my observation, not necessarily the one of ICANN where I work. But since you wanted me to have a kind of a quick say on this, I would like to say that in my observation of the implementation of digital economy in Africa, one or two things, can strike people, and predecessors, those who spoke before me, already alluded to some of them. But I would like us to pay attention to three sort of key things. Some of them were mentioned, but I would like to put an emphasis on them. Of course, the first of them is about the whole accessibility, the infrastructure that we are using to access the internet from Africa. And the second thing I would like also us to really ponder on is what I'm calling the data revolution, which is actually embedded within the whole sort of digital transformation we are seeing today. And thirdly, I would like us to concentrate on talent production. So you might say I'm just adding, a kind of a trilogy to the discussion, but which also echoes what you guys have set out to be doing. Innovation, talking about innovation, inclusion, and economic growth. In terms of the infrastructure, I would like to mention that, of course, the continent is now, we do have many sort of, pipelines, and there's no doubt about it. The continent, from what we've seen, a few years ago, there has been progress. So submarine cable are there. We also are having alternative, accessibility. All of these are possible. And also things such as the proliferation of the mobile devices also are the ones that are trying to provide, accessibility to the majority of people in Africa. And I also say something about the expansion of the affordable internet services. Of course, there might be variation, when you compare different countries, But the landscape today in terms of, digital transformation is quite kind of, I would say, positive, from what we've seen 10 or 15 years, ago. And some of the statistics are there, and developed also by the International Telecommunication Union reports that provide us with those statistics that really delve into, well, how much, Africans are using the internet. And of course, one would now also think about what are they doing, once they access, the internet, what is the African really doing with the internet? I think that's also another subject that we can really think about. Of course, the growth of this kind of infrastructure is also based on the investment, in broadband infrastructures, for instance, in Africa. And government has also been kind of played a pivotal role in supporting this. And in many places, you are seeing some progress that is there. And some places have even developed, I would not say homegrown, but the industry, has been a possibility to lay down the submarine cables. So when it comes to the infrastructure question that you might be putting is, how much eventually is your country investing also on the submarine cable? When you do have this cutoff, internet, cutoff, and then you have problem with your submarine cable, how are you organized really to reestablish the connectivity there? We know we do have the cable operators, but how many of African, countries are really investing also on those things? These are questions to be put to yourself. So infrastructure things have been done. We are saying 40 to 50% of Africans now have, kind of access or accessibility to the internet. Yet there is still work to be done. There is some sort of divide certainly over there because countries are not, covered equally, and the region also within countries are not equally covered. So there is work to be done there as well. Now, quickly I would like to switch to the data revolution. Actually, we don't really think about it, but what is really powering the whole digital economy today is the data. Mining data is quite important, and I will see that things, and we used to say that 70 to 75% of some of this data pertaining to Africa reside, outside, African borders. Things are happening, but I think we also need to really be innovative enough to really work on this data mining, aspects of the whole thing. Of course, this, call for so many things to really attend to. It's about your local statistics, the way we are collecting all of those. It's also about the security, the safety of this data that we are having. Of course, there are issues about, the cloud, system. But also there are solutions that we do have, data store. What I might say is that today, of course, the situation is quite clear. Although we are investing on these data centers, we can see that when you have the figures, globally, Africa is still, behind in terms of the number of, data centers that we have in Africa. And I guess, South Africa can be cited as one that do have, most important part of it. Figures are eventually talking about 8,000 of those data store. And probably, half of them in South Africa, and here and there, Egypt, Nigeria, and Kenya, for instance. So there is more to be done on this, and also in terms of security of all of this, and in terms of the energy that we use, because this data center also really are based on the energy that you are using. So how are we, producing those energy? All of this, goes in pairs. And then one can really work on them. So it's quite important to think about the data mining aspects of the whole, digital economy in Africa, and make sure that you do whatever you can do to push those things. And finally, talents. skills. I think it's key. It has been said, but it can never be enough, for Africa. And the skills are coming, and they will be needed. So many aspects of it, Of course, you do have so many startups, today, with the young, scientists, with the young developers, but the numbers are still feeble. That one needs to work on those. But then we also be in need of very specialized, talents or skills, which comes, with the like of, artificial intelligence, for instance, and in such a way that Africa does not just, reproduce whatever intelligence artificial, project, is global, but something that is really pertain to the reality of Africans. So all of this requests that you do have, those talent enough in numbers to really have, crafts those projects that are going to really to transform, Africa. And those projects are being seen in areas such as, agriculture, industry, and training, and also the whole aspects, of health, in Africa. So Africa really needs to have those, important talents and that are going to really make the transformation something that is impactful for the continent. So these are briefly kind of high sort of level, thought on the digital economy in Africa and what I really think that we should be concentrating on. Of course, back to ICANN, we of course are supporting, but according to our mission, it's about the DNS, infrastructure, because the DNS itself is an infrastructure that you need to manage, that you need to secure. And also, that's why we are also moving fast in supporting countries in securing the zone file, which we call it, the DNSSEC. How do you have, DNS that is secure? It's possible today to do it. Out of 54 African countries, 15, I think some of them have already signed the zone file. They need to validate all of this. All of these are, key role to play. They are, homework also to do. So we are here to support as I can. And let me pause here. And if you eventually have any question, I'll be available for that. And thank again for the opportunity given to us as I can to share our thoughts and then participate to this summit. Thank you. And back to you, Mrs. Rolandi Esne.
Thank you so much, Mr. Danjinu, and I'm so glad I pronounced your surname correctly. Definitely some insightful words that you presented today, and something that just keeps catching my ear is the word around talent, and that's something that we don't really chat about. We're always talking about infrastructure and all sorts of other initiatives, but we don't never really talking about growing our talent. So I do hope we cover that as part of some of the deliberations and the discussions that we have today. And again, we as Affecta welcome the support from ICANN, and we look forward to further engagement and discussions. I'd like to then present our next speaker, who actually probably doesn't need much of an introduction. We all know Dr. Jimson Olufaya, who is one of the founding members of Affecta, and always such an honor and a pleasure to share the platform with Dr. Jimson. But for those that don't know who Dr. Jimson is, I will give you a short bio, but as I said, he is a stalwart in the African ICT environment and sector. So Dr. Jimson is this Chief Executive Officer of Kontemporary Konsulting Ltd, which is an ICT consulting firm based in Abuja in Nigeria. He has over 25 years of experience in the national and global ICT sector. He's the founder and former chair, as I've mentioned, of Affecta, and is currently the chair of the Advisory Council. He's been widely recognized for his contributions to ICT development and leadership across Africa. Dr. Jimson, again, we welcome you to this platform. We look forward to your contributions. And let me hand over the virtual mic to you. Thank you, sir.
Okay, great. Thank you very, very much, our dear chair, Landy Esna. It appears Hong Kong is good on you. Oh my, that's pleasant. The weather must be great. I also greet the advisory council members here, Professor Adeniko Sofison, Paul Rooney, and the board members, appreciating the deputy chair, and Ms. Ariola, vice chair, West Africa, another board member here, former chair, Engineer Ozam Elgamer, recognize my colleague in the UNGA WISIS plus 20 informal multi-stakeholder signing board, dearly beloved Amrita Hugari, my friend Dr. Kosi Amesunu, and brother Engineer Kunle Olorun Dari, Dr. Adebumi Akimbo. Pierre Dojonu, my friend, you are highly recognized, always supporting right from the beginning. We appreciate all the work you've been doing to raise the profile of Africa, and of course, recognize the Oracle, great inspiration for ICT development in Nigeria, and it continues to power it. Also, thank you very much, Secretariat, for all the work you do. Well, my speech very brief. The chair said it all. And Brian, yes, I recognize Brian Capelli. Thank you so much for all the positive, strong support. You are brothers, we are partners moving forward. So we appreciate even that brilliant speech, bringing all of us together to ensure that we all move together as one ecosystem in the world. So as I said, a lot has been said in the speeches, and I could just say +1 to them. But all the same, I'm still Jimson Olufuye, principal consultant at Kontemporary Konsulting Ltd. We are an IT firm based in Abuja, Nigeria. We're into data centers rollout, and we also help our client to sustain the integrity of same. System integration, we do that a lot. Cybersecurity, yes, a major fault of ours. And also they are doing a lot of application development, cloud application development. And also we do well in ICT consulting and research. We've delivered services to, say, Nigeria Academy of Engineering, ECOWAS, EU, the World Bank, GIZ, the federal government of Nigeria, even of course, the United Nations, among many others. One of our landmark research works was the research on cybersecurity for development in the 4th Industrial Revolution. That can be obtained on this URL for those that are interested in that. That research is very important to us. In fact, the UN commissioned that research, and it showed that a 10% increase in internet penetration enables up to 8.4% increase in GDP per capita. And a 10% increase in cybersecurity maturity enables up to 5.4% increase in GDP also per capita. The underlining point of this research is that when we boost our internet penetration, then we can expect productivity in the economy. We can expect more money to be in the pockets of citizens. At the same time, since we know that security is also very important, security at the terrestrial arena, where we have the military, the army, the air force, the navy, and other police and other paramilitary agencies, where they keep forth in the terrestrial arena, we also know that security in the virtual arena is also very important. And so we need to enhance that. And that is the essence of that, the cybersecurity statistics, that a 10% increase in our maturity rate will surely boost GDP, because once hackers don't have access to your resources, which about 10% of our resources is taken away nearly every year, up to 10% of GDP. That's a lot. So if we're able to save, then that means more money in our pocket. Another landmark product of ours is the Tripod Cybersecurity Maturity Model. This is a new model, the first one in the Global South, that brings together assessments from the country perspective, organization perspective, and companies perspective. And that can be accessed on this website, tcmm.africa. So those that want to take a look, please feel free to do so. tcmm.africa. So indeed, as you know, we are at the forefront of advocacy in Nigeria and Africa, and some of our works from 1997, yes, from 1997, in collaboration with others, resulted in the establishment of the leading standard agencies in Nigeria for ICT, and that is the National Information Technology Development Agency, NIDA, and of course, the Africa ICT Alliance. Prior to that, I had the privilege of being the president of the IT Association of Nigeria, and was in that capacity, I saw the gap that existed in Africa, wherein there is no private sector-led voice. And that led me to put many resources together, even including the constitution, the website, the contacts, and alignment with other stakeholders across South Africa, Egypt, Tunisia, Kenya, the Gambia, and of course in Nigeria, to us to get Africa started 12 years ago. And I'm proud of what we've achieved thus far, and we continue to achieve. And so we continue to be active at the regional level, yes, national and regional level. And currently, we're very much involved in IGF, global IGF. But there is a Nigerian IGF coming out very soon, and we're also speaking there. WSIS follow-up, yes, this is an important part. WSIS plus 20 review is underway. And as I mentioned, I had the privilege of being appointed into the first ever informal multi-stakeholder standing board of the United Nations General Assembly. This is the first time the United Nations is setting up a mechanism to interact more effectively, even with non-governmental stakeholders. I think this is a positive thing under the spirit of the multi-stakeholder engagement. So our profile has shown a clear commitment to accelerating positive digital future for Africa. And come 2025 at the UNGA WSIS plus 20 high-level meeting, we'll be having a side event in collaboration with other stakeholders. Of course, AFICTA, the Nigerian government, we hope Kenyan government, Egypt, and other African governments can come together to enhance Africa digital cooperation so that we can boost the African continental free trade zone, as Pierre talked about, Brian also mentioned, with regard to data interoperability and talent enhancement. So our objective is very clear for that summit, for that side event, and that is to foster dialogue among African government, private sector, civil society, and other stakeholders to realizing the WSIS plus 20 commitment, the era of AI, data sovereignty, and digital inclusion, of course, promoting capacity development and digital trust. So we expect at that side event, the joint community policy brief will be produced, and then we also launch the Africa Digital Cooperation Accelerator, which is a platform for cross-sector partnership and resource mobilization. We also hope that this will strengthen multi-stakeholder collaboration in line with the SDG 17 partnership for the goals. And lastly, digital enhancement for the implementation of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area. If you wish to participate in that event, maybe even virtually, you can actually check out this link. Okay, so finally, to boost innovation, inclusion, and economic growth, there's a need for us to boost investment in ICT infrastructure, has been mentioned. We don't have enough. We need to also collaborate with those that already have. Yes, we know the leading countries when it comes to AI, China, the United States, digitalization, intra-African trade. There, as we know, as we've seen, because there's that strong connectivity or correlation between connectivity and development, so it's important for our government and all stakeholders to take boosting connectivity seriously. So AFCTA is a great opportunity. Digital divide is something we need to recognize. Pierre mentioned that we are now about 39 to 40%, which is still very, very low. AI is going to exacerbate that, Gen AI as well. So we need to have this in mind. On inclusion, we have quite a number of women leading our alliance. Look at our beautiful chair of AFICTA. And we also have a number of our vice chair as great ladies. So we need to broaden inclusion in all our leadership positions across Africa, because perhaps we need the women to also take a lead. But of course, we all must work together to ensure we do not diminish our ability, and we enhance the commitment to bridging the digital divide. Let's remember that multi-stakeholder approach is the way, and this was enhanced and sustained by the Net Mundial Plus 10 guideline. Let's have that in mind as we move forward. So Kontemporary will continue to support AFICTA as long as it takes, and in collaboration with other like mine, we continue to invest in ensuring that African voices are heard where it matters, while extending our hand of fellowship to the rest of the world. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you so much, Dr. Jimson. I've just changed devices. Can you just indicate if you can hear me?
Yes, can hear you. Okay.
Wonderful. Dr. Jimson, as always, at AFICTA, we appreciate your support and your commitment and your wisdom. And again, we're looking forward to further discussions and dialogue. And at this point in time, I want to hand back to our facilitators to continue today's program. And enjoy, and we will touch base with everybody throughout the course of today. Thank you, everyone.
Wow, thank you so much, Chair, for coordinating the session that just opening session. And we're also using this opportunity to appreciate all our sponsors who sponsored this event. Is one of them, and we have Hacked, the association app, and then Kontemporary Konsulting. We appreciate your sponsorship of this event. It wouldn't have been possible for us to be here if you were not there for us. So we appreciate your sponsorship. We will do a very short break where we will promote our sponsors for today. So we want you to enjoy this session with us, get to know more about our sponsors for the 13th AFICTA Summit. So let's go to the market.
Companies. We are Africa Information and Communication Technologies Alliance.
AFICTA
is a private sector-led alliance of ICT associations, multinational corporations, companies, organizations, and individuals in the ICT to fulfill the promise of the digital age for everyone in Africa. And our mission is to encourage multi-stakeholder dialogue, fostering accelerated and ICT-enabled development in Africa and the use of cutting-edge innovative technologies including mobile, computing and satellite technologies to achieve an information society in Africa. We organize non-government ICT stakeholders in Africa for effective local and continental advocacy. We are the focal point for Africa ICT advocacy in the global digital economy.